In 1943, for an American bomber crew, a mission over Germany was a death sentence. The problem was simple, and it was brutal. America's fighter escorts, the P-47s and P-38s, were great planes, but they were thirsty. They could only fly to the German border before their fuel gauges hit empty, forcing them to turn back. The moment they left, the sky would fill with wolves. German aces, flying advanced Focke-Wulfs and Messerschmitts, would wait. They would let the escorts leave and then pounce on the undefended B-17s. The results were a slaughter. On a single mission to Schweinfurt, 60 bombers were shot down. 600 men, killed or captured, in one day. The loss rates were so catastrophic, so unsurvivable, that the entire American bombing campaign was on the verge of total collapse. Then, in December 1943, a new weapon arrived. A Silver Shark with a British Rolls-Royce engine and an American airframe. The P-51 Mustang. It was a miracle. With drop tanks, it could fly all the way to Berlin and back. The range problem was solved, but the slaughter continued. Why? Because the fighters were still flying the old, logical doctrine. A sign hanging in every headquarters read, "The first duty of 8th Air Force fighters is to bring the bombers back alive." This meant the P-51s, these new, thoroughbred killers, were forced to fly slowly, chained to the bombers. They were flying like sheepdogs, weaving back and forth, waiting to be attacked. And the German pilots, masters of their craft, were still diving through the formations, killing bombers and escaping. The new planes weren't being used, they were being wasted. On January 6, 1944, a new commander, Major General Jimmy Doolittle, saw that sign on the wall. Doolittle was not a bureaucrat. He was a ruthless innovator, the man who had led the impossible raid on Tokyo. He turned to his staff and gave a quiet, simple order that would change the war. "That sign needs to come down," he said. "It's wrong." Within hours, a new sign was up. "The first duty of 8th Air Force fighters is to destroy German fighters." This was not a change in wording. This was a revolution. Doolittle had just unchained the wolves. The order was simple. Fighters are no longer to stay with the bombers. Instead, they were to abandon the formation. They were to fly 50 miles ahead, 25 miles to each side, and hunt. Their new mission was to find the German fighters where they lived, on their airfields, in their assembly formations, and kill them before they ever got near the bombers. To the bomber crews, it sounded like a death warrant. "You're going to leave us?" To the fighter pilots, it was liberation. Colonel Don Blakesley of the 4th Fighter Group screamed with joy. "We are no longer shepherds," he told his men. "We are wolves." The first test came just days later. P-51s roared ahead of the bomber stream and found a formation of 50 German fighters climbing to form up for their attack. The Germans, expecting to find defenseless bombers, found themselves in a trap. The P-51s dove on them from the sun. 13 German fighters were annihilated in minutes. Not one of them even reached the bombers. Then came Big Week, a 6-day-long, all-out assault on the German aircraft industry. But its real purpose was bait. Over 1,000 bombers flew into Germany, a target the Luftwaffe had to attack. And the wolves were waiting. For 6 days, the skies over Germany became a swirling, non-stop killing ground. The P-51s didn't wait. They hunted. They attacked German planes on takeoff. They attacked them at their landing fields. They attacked them in the middle of refueling. The German aces were stunned. Major Erich Hartmann, Germany's top ace, saw it for what it was. "This is not a bombing raid," he told his men. "This is a fighter battle, with bombers as bait." In 1 week, the Luftwaffe lost over 350 fighters, and more importantly, nearly 100 of its best, most irreplaceable veteran pilots. The back of the German fighter arm was broken. The results were immediate and absolute. The kill ratios flipped. Where Germany had been winning 2-1, the Allies were now winning 4-1. German ace Johannes Mackie Stepp wrote in his diary, "Today, I watched the German fighter arm die. Germany could still build planes, but Doolittle's tactic had killed all their pilots. By May 1944, veteran squadrons were gone, replaced by terrified boys with barely 100 hours of flight time sent up as sacrifices against seasoned American aces in superior machines. On May 8th, 900 American bombers struck targets across Germany. 750 escorts flew with them. Not a single German fighter rose to meet them. 1 month later, on D-Day, the Allies flew 14,000 sorties over the invasion beaches. The once mighty Luftwaffe, hunted to extinction, managed fewer than 300. The soldiers on the beaches were virtually unopposed from the air. Field Marshal Rommel said it best: "The enemy has complete air superiority. We cannot move by day, we cannot fight." Doolittle's insane gamble, his betrayal of the bombers, had achieved total air supremacy in just 6 months. The bombers came home, not because the fighters stayed close to guard them, but because Doolittle had unleashed the wolves, and there was no one left to fight.